Voltas, all with a smart AC, presents Lights, Camera, Cricket in association with Sensodyne and GoDaddy.
Hello there and welcome to Lights, Camera, Cricket. I'm Himanshu Singhal and I've got Nikhil Chopra with me for his views and insights on the IPL game between Hyderabad and Rajasthan. But first, the update on the match. Rajasthan beat Hyderabad by 6 wickets in their IPL match at Vizag. Batting first, Warner and Dhawan provided a brisk start to Hyderabad, but once this partnership was broken, the Hyderabad inning fell completely apart. Dhawan Kulkarni and Praveen Tambe bowled exceptionally. Kulkarni picked up a couple of wickets off consecutive balls, while Tambe got rid of Ojha and Morgan to restrict Hyderabad to 127 for 5. Chasing 128 to win, Rajasthan made a solid start through Rahane and Samson. Though after a decent start, Rajasthan lost Samson, Smith and Nair fairly quickly. Rahane led their charge with a fighting half-century. Rajasthan survived some anxious moments in the end, and James Faulkner won the match for Rajasthan by hitting a 4 of the final ball of the match. So Nikhil, quite clearly an exciting finish to a match that pretty much looked like a one-sided affair.
Well, absolutely. Till about, you could say, out of the 40 overs that tonight were played, Rajasthan probably dominated 36, 37 overs off it. And the last over, chasing 128, I'm sure, Smith, Dravid, Paddy Upton, all these guys would be saying, you don't need to take it to the last over, and especially the last delivery. Anything could have happened. The ball could have gone to one of the fielders, a run out, possible, another over being bowled. So I don't think Rajasthan Royals would want to see another close finish, because 127 runs to chase, Himanshu, to 128. You'd probably want to finish it with 3 overs or 4 overs to spare.
What do you think was a turning point of this game?
Well, in terms of Rajasthan chasing, I guess when they lost Rahane and 2 new guys at the crease, it was one of those tracks where the ball wasn't coming on, slightly sluggish, so you needed to spend some time. You couldn't play a shot straight out of the block. It's not one of those wickets where you just pick the line of the ball, plant your front foot, and you can go bam, through the line of the ball. Wasn't that kind of track. So maybe that's the point when you have a set batsman batting on 60 odd. You're losing him, and then Binny, the new man, walking in as well at that time. So you had 2 new guys walking in.
What about the player of the day for you? For me, it's going to be a close tie between Ajinkya Rahane for his knock of 62, of course, and Tambe as well as Dhawan Kulkarni.
I guess the new ball picking up wickets and, fantastic figures. In a T20 game, 9 runs that he's conceded, picked up those 2 wickets. So you say Dhawan Kulkarni, of course, but also Ajinkya Rahane on a track that was not as easy to go out there and bat. The only thing that might have helped the Rajasthan Royals, seeing the runs on board, that allowed Rahane to spend some time out there in the middle. You weren't chasing, say, 8, 8.5 and over right from the outset. So he was allowed to get used to the conditions and set up a total.
But interestingly, the Hyderabad batsmen were clearly looking like as if they were struggling on this pitch. Was it the pitch really, or some poor application on their part?
I guess a bit of both. It was one of those tracks, like I said, that you could just go and play your shots, but some of these batsmen weren't ready to spend enough time. Sometimes the best thing to do is spend some time out in the middle, look to rotate strike. If they compare the number of dot balls that they played in comparison to the earlier games, much more dot balls, played in this game from the Hyderabad batting side. Very quickly, when 2 guys are batting, Himanshu, you need to assess the conditions and say, well, what's going to be a fighting enough total, 130, 140. You look to get 130, 140 wickets in hand. Sometimes you can get 150, 160. But if you target to get 160, 170 straight at the beginning of a game, you lose a couple of wickets, you come crumbling down, and that's what's happened to the Hyderabad side.
Nikhil, it's a typical success story. At the age of 43, Tambe is a perfect example of talent meeting opportunity.
Well, phenomenal. And sometimes, hard work pays. And no shortcuts to hard work. At the age of, say, 42, 43, he's sweating it out. And these kind of performances, when you get consistent, just goes to show it's not just, You come up during the IPL season, roll your arm over and you'll get wickets. You can clearly make out, there's a methodology to his bowling and he works hard. That's why he's getting those dividends paid. Leg spin is probably one of the most difficult arts in cricket, and you need to be consistent, and how you can be consistent is to spend enough time bowling, on a single wicket. The more hours you spend bowling, the more consistent you get with your line and length. And that's the dividend that Tambe is probably getting paid at this moment in time, because he's worked really hard.
And what about Dhaval Kulkarni? In fact, let's get Dhaval Kulkarni's figures up on your screen right away. 3 overs, 1 maiden, 9 runs, 2 wickets, including the wickets of Dhawan and Rahul. Nikhil, talk us through this.
The good thing is, if you look at Dhaval Kulkarni, he got that ball to swing. Only 5 deliveries were bowled short. So he understood very early that he had to be pitching the ball in the right area, allowing that ball to swing. You look at the good length area, he's bowled, 8 deliveries, just conceded 4. And the full length, he's conceded only 5 of the 5 deliveries. And he got the wicket of Shikhar Dhawan as well. So he got the ball to move early on. And that's what you want to do. When you see the ball swinging, we see a lot of guys looking to pitch it short, not allowing the ball to swing. But Dhaval Kulkarni is a swing bowler, and I'm glad he's amongst wickets.
What about Ajinkya Rahane? Do you think he was at his best? Anything in specific that you'd like to point out about his performance today?
Well, the little dynamite. He doesn't pack a powerful punch. He's a great timer of the ball. And when you watch him, Himanshu, the hallmark of a good batsman is when you watch him, you seem to have a lot of time on hand. Even the quickest of the quick, at 147, 148 kilometers an hour, he still has a lot of time. And here's one batsman who's another complete batsman. And you very rarely see that, he plays too many dot balls. He's always on the move. He's a busy cricketer.
Right.
And when he's looking to strike those boundaries, he uses the pace of the bowler. So which is a good sign as well. And once he gets to 30s and 40s, he's looking to finish games.
Let's in fact also take a look at the points tally right away. Rajasthan, of course, sitting on the top. 4 wins in 4 games, 8 points, and a great net run rate there. Chennai snapping up on their heels with 2 wins in 2 games. And they, of course, are going to be facing Mumbai tomorrow, so that might change very soon. Kolkata, Delhi, Punjab, and, of course, Hyderabad. Just 1 solitary victory from 3 games and 2 losses. Nikhil, a very interesting question, but a very important one here. What do you think is the reason behind Rajasthan's success so far in this IPL? 4 games, 4 wins. Incredible.
Well, I guess, it's the bowling combination, and you look at the batting combination as well. You got enough match winners, and it's just not the international stars doing well. It's your domestic stars doing well. The initial games, how Deepak Hooda came and set up the game. Ajinkya Rahane is amongst runs. James Faulkner, Smith, when he got in, he finished the game. So it's, it's a mix of everybody contributing towards a victory. In the 4 games that we've seen, you can't say that, 90% of the games have been won by one particular batsman or one particular bowler. That's a great ingredient to have in your side.
Well, Rajasthan Royals seem to be gradually gaining the reputation of pushing relatively unknown talent onto the big stage in the IPL, while we saw Yusuf Pathan and Ravindra Jadeja being nurtured for bigger responsibilities in the past. This year, Deepak Hooda seems to be fast emerging as a find of the IPL season. Take a look.
Who would really care about a little-known domestic cricketer? How many would really bother about a 19-year-old who's just 8 first-class matches under his belt? Not many, but IPL team Rajasthan Royals do. Rajasthan have unearthed another talent in the Indian domestic setup and brought him in the front of the world. His name is Deepak Hooda. A 6-hitting powerhouse, a match winner, as he did against Delhi in his just 2nd IPL match. But for those who follow Team Rajasthan and the way they work, this is absolutely nothing new. The men in royal blue in fact have made it a habit of throwing in green horns in the deep blue sea. And what do they get in return? Champions. Just ponder on these names. Swapnil Asnotkar, Yusuf Pathan, Ravindra Jadeja, Stuart Binney, Sanju Samson, Praveen Tambe, Karun Nair.
All right, so we're talking about Rajasthan Royals. Nikhil, where do you think the scope for improvement for Rajasthan lies? I thought The fielding today, as far as Rajasthan were concerned, proved to be a bit of a mixed bag for them. We saw Rahane brilliantly dismissing Warner with that direct hit. But after that, I've got some stuff written here as well. Huda dropped Oja. We also saw Sanju Samson missing an easy stumping chance. We also saw Boris dropping Bopara. A couple of big lapses in the field as far as Rajasthan are concerned.
Well, true. Once you get to the business end of the tournament, you'd want to tie up those loose ends for sure. Margin of error in a T20 game is so small, and because of the pace of the game, it doesn't allow you to get back into the game. That run out of Rahane was absolutely fantastic. I guess it's no excuse, but when you're playing different grounds so quickly, and this venue here at Vizag being the first one, sometimes the lights, the ambience at the back, the stadium seating can trouble certain fielders as well. I'm sure the night before, like last night, they must have gone and done a fielding drill in that ground just to get used to it. But sometimes just one night prior to the game is never enough, Himanshu. But at the outset, you want to win games, you need to convert the half chances. You cannot allow opportunities to be given to quality batsmen, especially in the top 4 or top 5. Otherwise, they'll turn around and make you hurt.